Live from Free Cup Studio in Seoul. This is the GSL.
You're goddamn right, it's the GSL. Fuck you guys think this is?
Yeah.
The greatest esports show on earth.
Easily and by far.
Welcome back. We've got TRAX versus ByuN coming up. I am hoping that this series does not mirror the last one.
No.
And that a Protoss player gets rolled, but it certainly could. Dark and ByuN were the finalists of the 2016 World Championship at BlizzCon, of course. And I will say, I really do think TRAX has a better shot, but against ByuN, it's hard to say. Sometimes ByuN wins in the most one-sided micro fashion you've ever seen.
Yeah, that definitely could be. But you know what? If TRAX got out first in the group, I wouldn't even be flabbergasted about it. And then also if he gets out third in the group, right? He has this whole big range. He's very, very strong as a player. Now, can ByuN really kind of step it up and wreck right now? Like, obviously, we all know he did not make BlizzCon last year. It was kind of heartbreaking. Lost in the qualifiers of the last Super Tournament.
Pretty wild, yeah.
Where, you know, he might have been able to win enough points that Rogue would not have been able to go. What a different world we would have been in. But he had a tough time of things. So, hopefully, ByuN can show some good games, because I know that this guy, he might have the most fans in the foreign scene out of any pro. What do you think? I
think there's nobody would disagree with that. Who else would be in competition with that?
It's like Neeb and ByuN.
Scarlet.
Maybe, yeah.
Is there anybody who's a Korean that has enough foreign fans? Hold on, my mind's racing. I think ByuN has more than Innovation, actually.
Sue and ByuN, I think, are the three players that...
Sue's another one.
That people love. Really, truly love. But ByuN is like... I mean, the guy wears his heart on his sleeve. He plays a micro style. You know foreigners love that micro, man.
Oh, yeah. Let's go to game one on the map Catalyst.
GSL Season 1, Code S, Daybreak. When the lights come on, when the crowd goes wild, rip the roof up over here, take it to the stratosphere. Generic Green Wings, TRAX.
Looking forward to this match. TRAX in good shape, I bet.
ByuN.
Well, he's definitely gonna. He's definitely gonna come in here with some pretty cool builds for sure. I don't think. Whoa!
I love it.
We're just catching the tail end of this on the screen that you guys can see, but an immediate spot there.
So I think what was happening, because we didn't get to really see, I think that we were going to see a proxy from ByuN, and TRAX saw it immediately.
Good scouting.
Sent out a probe early and saw it immediately, so ByuN is like, oh, I guess I don't get to do that. But now TRAX is going to proxy. So this is
is pretty crazy.
A little turn of fates or something going on here.
So things are rapidly changing here just at the start of this game. TRAX trying to set up a disgruntled ByuN. Now that ByuN is not doing the build he trained for at home, is instead going to rely on, I think, just a more traditional Terran versus Protoss, trying to go back to an ordinary build. But he's going to have to be immediately ready for the possible proxy. And that, of course, means there was a second probe sent out on the map right away. And as long as ByuN is watching this first probe that's out, now trying to hide, and as long as his Marine's looking for that, ByuN may be completely blindsided by the Stargate tech over here. And I don't think he's going to look for it.
I don't know. Like, he could walk it over there, but he's got to know that...
Oh, my God.
No, I guess he is going to find it. That's, like, really, really quality to find. No way. No way. No way.
Oh, my God.
Oh, maybe he'll see it now. Maybe he'll see it now. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. It's like just a few pixels off.
No, that was as close as you can get. On the way down, I'm like, maybe he'll see it this time.
Yeah. No, I thought for sure he might just...
Well, he's dead. Right?
Well,
he's making Marauders with concussive shell. Do those do well against Void Rays, or the exact opposite? They're the worst thing in the whole world against Void Rays.
There needs to be an upgrade where the Marauder can lay on its back so it can fire up. and hit those Void Rays. Unfortunately, that is not in this iteration of StarCraft 2.
Just wait, I'm sure it'll get patched in eventually.
All right. Terran's already complaining. We have
that's
Void Ray
it.
about to come out. Yeah, and this is all pretty straightforward, especially with shield batteries available.
Who did we see do this build the other day?
Wait, make up your mind, man. Okay, he's going to go for the depot.
I think it doesn't even matter. ByuN going to counterattack. I think that is about as best he can do, and then maybe make like 6 missile turrets around a command center.
Unfortunately, Stim against Void Rays when you're trying to protect your main is not exactly that helpful. And I think as long as... Well, hold up. I'm not going to speak too soon because this is ByuN. He's got probably the best micro in all of StarCraft 2 history. So don't count out 2 Marauders and 2 Marines.
Well, there's a shield battery being made. So I'm almost counting it out.
So you're not going to get that... That's going to finish, right?
Yeah.
Yep, that animation. Oh! Okay, hold on. Here comes the ByuN micro. Now Stim's... Oh no, Stim is done. I'm sorry.
Did it finish?
Oh no, I'm crazy. Of course it didn't finish. He shot down the tech lab.
Yeah.
This game's getting a little wild here. In all seriousness, I think this game should be over here.
Yeah. Okay.
Look at me. I'm like so biased here with how good ByuN is at his control. I'm like, no, for sure those 2 Marauders and 2 Marines are going to make a comeback.
Yeah, the shield battery is pretty useful against things like that.
Oh,
I mean,
nicely
good
done.
micro, but going to be able to heal this up pretty well.
Yeah, and unfortunately those Marines take damage even when they're running away, just due to the length of the shot.
Oh my god, he's making a fleet beacon. Style points right now.
That's right.
Super style points.
This is StarCraft is
Like,
hard.
what is he going to make with the fleet beacon? Like a Tempest? Yeah!
Yeah, he is. That way he can shoot the main.
Roddy build! Almost, kind of.
He can shoot the main while just staying right outside the main. In fact, he might just try to pounce on the turret
Dude,
here.
you put it behind the mineral line in that dead space, and you just don't let him
Oh, that's another. Yeah, that's another way to do it too. I mean, there's so many ways to close this out.
God, it's so hilarious. He's making attempts right now. I love it.
And so he baits the SCVs towards repairing the turret. When the SCVs come up, he shoots them down. This is just a position that is virtually unwinnable for Terran.
Yeah, this is kind of funny, especially considering in 5 days, the Stalkers are no longer 3-shot Marines. So.
That's right. Well, you might as well do this while you've got it, right?
Yep, totally.
Great
I love the shield
control
battery
here.
right in his face right
I know.
there.
GG.
Oh my god.
Game 1 goes to Trap. We were saying this earlier. We should not be surprised if Trap takes a game off either Dark or ByuN.
Yeah. I mean,
He's always been a great player.
And the thing is, like I was saying, he could win the group. He really could. You know, his PvT, I think, is his worst matchup, but it's good still. And when ByuN is scouting for a proxy Stargate and doesn't see it by a Marine's hair, I mean, that's a little bit hurtful right there. What are you supposed to do at that point? That's rough. Like, we saw another game that went just like that as well. The proxy that TY did, right, against Gumiho, where, like, Gumiho was looking so hard with his Reapers.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The only thing he didn't scout is exactly where the Stargate
It was hidden in plain sight.
God,
That's right.
It's painful.
Okay, game number 2 is going to be played on Blackpink. That Trap just defeated ByuN and has a 1-0 lead. If anybody could come back, it would be ByuN, but it seems like Trap trying to play around the micro style of ByuN by not even letting him have enough units to ever pull anything off control-wise. Will Trap do the same thing around in game number 2? I don't know. I thought game number 1 was a very, very unique TVP. Almost impossible to replicate, considering that ByuN tried to proxy and was then spotted and then counter-proxied by Trap.
Daybreak. When the lights come out. Jin Air Green Wings. Trap.
Smash in that last game. Everything going wrong for his opponent.
We've actually had already a couple short games here today.
Yeah, it's going quick.
ByuN.
Doesn't necessarily have to be that way, though. We'll see. Trap generally is, I don't know the right way to put it. I don't want to call him a timing attack player, but, like, He generally doesn't play supreme late game in any match.
I think it's actually pretty fair to call him a timing attack player. In a lot of his games, there's a very specific moment that he leverages.
Yeah, no. That's the right way to put it. I think it's not. Yeah, it's like he does do that. So, especially in PvZ. Look at that! Inside of his phone case, he has a picture of ByuN.
So Trap's going to go for a quicker Nexus here. Doesn't mean we won't see anything crazy, but so far everything's looking pretty ordinary. And it's going to be ByuN going for a Reaper coming out here, and it looks like he's itching to get a command center up of his own, but the probe does block him from actually putting that where he wants it to be. The Reaper's almost out. Okay, so Trap knows the exact amount of time he had to try to get the probe hidden somewhere safe instead of trying to kill the SCV. And I suppose being able to come in there and possibly scout with that probe later on, or maybe proxy, or keep that around for any kind of checking of hidden expos is more important than trying to kill that SCV.
Well, if you go in and spot the gas, you can know the second the Reaper comes out. It's like a very refined build, and then it's pretty easy to pop back in and see it. And a lot of the times you can actually poke up and see if there's a factory being made, and that is like, that's a huge amount of information if you can see, like, oh, are they falling over the factory? Do I not see anything that could mean it's a third command center or something like that? So I should play more greedy. Definitely good stuff getting out of there. ByuN going for the scout now. There is a Stargate on the way.
Okay, the Reaper's coming up. The Stalker is not quite in a position to defend here. But it looks like ByuN instead going to go for the scout, not trying to go for that kill, bouncing the Stalker back off. And so far, so good here for ByuN. He gets to basically see everything that the Protoss is up to. Oh my god!
Oh my god! Covered in butter.
So he saw that was an Oracle making, and it looks like he's not going to try to cancel that and make anything else. So the Oracle is going to come out here, try to scout, try to kill SCVs. Later on, ideally try to tag the army with the medevacs. But he's got to watch out for Widow Mines. And this has been going on for a while now. Let's see where exactly the Widow Mines are buried.
Yeah, will he be able to catch one? He's actually probably going to lift up. Oh, look at that. Probe comes up and runs away.
This is pretty cute. This is one way to do it.
Yeah, I like that a lot. If you can kind of tank that Widow Mine shot for your Oracle, you can definitely get a lot of damage done. But there's a Cyclone on the way. There's enough Marines out here. You might be able to get something done as well. Okay, only the Marine's going to be sent across. So defensive Widow Mine, and he's sending in the probe. This is such a cool play. I love it. Oh, no, he turns it around. Okay.
Now, with the Cyclone here, Oracle has to choose wisely and be careful not to graze into any Widow Mine traps here. Now here comes the drop. The ground army for Protoss is not in a great position to defend the third, but it's actually going to be ByuN at least taking a peek into the second, and I assume unloading over here.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. He's going to set up an ambush here.
He'll force a cancel here, I would say. Like, with the units coming up, the fact that he went for a Viking and then multiple... oh, yeah, pick up, get out.
Ooh, perfect. Right when the Oracle was activated, too.
Yeah, this was perfect. And with the Widow Mines, with the Cyclone, the Viking, you bring it over and you can land it as well. I mean, a lot of patches have happened since then, but this was a counter TY used to use all the time against one gate Oracle 3 base. It just like almost always kills it. Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to go down in a very, very good timing attack here by ByuN. He may be able to push the issue even further here. Since this Nexus, there's no way to save it. But I think even the losses that Trap suffered back there may make him really pushable here into the... Hold up. Oracle's coming in now. And really good job doing the damage, then backing out. Nice engage there by Trap. Okay, so ByuN will most likely have to turn around now. I thought he might try to push in even further here, but with that really good Oracle play, Trap still has a shot.
Oh, look at this. This is like the A-team of Terran units.
I was going to say, it's a very funny setup because it's all different kinds of units. Each one has a different utility on both sides, by the way. Little micro wars match here.
You like League of Legends. That's like what we just saw there. I'm like, yeah, no, that's the healing unit, right? This is tanking all the damage. This one's the spellcaster or something like that. This one warded the forest. I don't know.
This is each side controlling a MOBA team.
Yeah.
Cool engage there. And they're both going to go back now. Trap's going to try to take his third. ByuN is going to power up on 2 bases and probably have a follow-up push.
Yeah, look, he's in good shape after that. Like, I would give an advantage to ByuN, but I definitely don't want to say that this game is over. This is something that, like, we didn't see Trap lose too much. He's, you know, it's not a good place again, but it's not necessarily a death sentence. He's running right now into charge and +1 attack, so I find that interesting. If you're going for Charge Phoenix, I feel like you really want that +1 armor. It's just so helpful on the Zealots, especially against the quick-firing Marines. But that aside, I do want to mention there is some interesting things. First off, we're seeing old builds recycled a lot recently.
Yeah.
And this is a very old build that ByuN did here. This is something that... when was it? Maybe the beginning of last year, TY was using a lot to destroy Protoss third bases because everyone was going to Oracle 3 Nexus, right? And if you go for a Viking after your medevac as well as like 2 Cyclones, you always kill that Nexus if they did it off 1 gate, right? So Protoss has had to adapt, but Protoss are greedy again right now. So that's really interesting to see. And then I did want to bring up this one thing with you before this next attack occurs, Tasteless.
Go ahead.
The Oracle got...
Oh my god, hold on. You don't get to bring it up at all.
Yeah.
All right, now try. Go ahead.
The Oracle got a pretty significant nerf.
Yeah.
But it's still being used against Terran. And the nerf was against Terran specifically, right?
Right.
I find that interesting. Doesn't that just mean the nerf was a good choice? Wouldn't you say?
Well, here's what I would say. I think it says that the Oracle still has a ton of utility.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, hold up. Also, it may also represent the maturity of the players. Is sometimes things get nerfed and people are like, we could never use it again.
Yeah.
Hold up. We have some great kiting here by ByuN. This is quintessential ByuN control. The Phoenixes have got the pickups, but is the ground army too strong?
Yeah, great micro coming out of ByuN here, really abusing the small unit count from the late third base.
If he can take out the Robo here, there's not going to be enough Immortals to try to take on this many Marauders. With the Marines on the ground and nothing else here to help, the Phoenixes can get gunned down as well. Am I crazy? I guess there are no Marines there anymore.
Yeah, he only lifted up Marines during that whole thing, so really great job of micro from the Phoenixes here.
Yeah, but I don't think ByuN is done just yet.
Yeah.
And with these Widow Mines now going up to take out the remaining Zealots.
Superb micro there from ByuN as well, like running away at the moment of impact from the Widow Mines to reduce any splash damage to his own units.
We've seen a lot of games historically from ByuN that involve this tension in the middle of the map.
Yeah.
Where he just keeps coming out maybe 15, 30% ahead in each fight. Mm-hmm. And after a few engagements, ByuN rolls him over. And Trap knows the position he's in. And he is basically not allowed to make any mistakes.
Yeah, Trap is in a world of pain right now, especially when you're going Phoenix Zealot. It's like a tough comp to pull off. You really need a big economy and a ton of Zealots to make it work. Here he comes in once again now, with the Widow Mines connecting with a lot of these Phoenixes. They're getting very low on health, but really destroying a huge chunk of this army.
Okay, at this point in time, Trap handling that basically perfectly. It's actually ByuN now up on the ropes as far as fights in the middle of the map goes. Another great Widow Mine shot, but it seems like if Trap can pull back, regroup, I think things have actually sort of normalized here. I don't think either player can really engage the other one. ByuN losing some Widow Mines, not just with that Phoenix pickup, but throughout this fight. I think giving him a lot less opportunities to have a foothold he can try to kite units back into. So far, this has actually, I think, been our closest game for today.
You're certainly right about
by
that.
miles.
Everything has been a landslide.
By kilometers for our non-Americans, excuse me.
Yes. Many kilometers. For every kilometer is very weak next to the mile.
That's right. Everything's bigger in America,
Kilometers
guys.
are wussies next to
That's
miles,
right.
man. They don't even know.
Okay, here we go. Good pickups here on the Widow Mines. The Zealots pulled far enough away from the Archons that Trap has to try to regroup.
2-2 on the way for ByuN, so he's definitely getting into stuff that can transition a bit later. But look at this, 1-1 on the Zealots rushing forward. Those SCVs being slaughtered with the help of the Archons. And that Immortal just doing a huge amount of work in the back.
Okay, Overall, it's an exchange that it seems like Terran should eventually come out on top of, but a lot of medevacs are picked off, which means not a lot of drop opportunity. It does force ByuN into a position where he's probably going to have to try to continue to defend back here. I think this is a lost cause if Trap tries to stay here for much longer.
You know, a lot of medevacs killed, a lot of SCVs killed. This was a very valuable attack here for Trap. He's definitely well ahead after this. ByuN only on 40 SCVs, but he's reduced the army a lot. And when we get into smaller armies, that's where ByuN does really well. It's kind of funny if you just watch like a lot of ByuN TVPs, and especially if you look kind of when we first were really talking about the Four Horsemen, his TVPs look different from everyone else's. Like, TY would just make so many SCVs that even if you killed some, he still has a ton. ByuN just about every game, you know, he would lose a ton of SCVs, but he's killed a bunch of your units during it, and then his micro turns on.
That's right.
And he somehow still gains a victory.
Okay.
Will he be able to do that here, though?
A drop over here. It seems like ByuN is already prepared, and this is going to be picked off. The damaged Warp Prism is going to fly away. Trap still trying to keep this position over here. I don't believe there are any Vikings in the game right now, so there's nothing to chase that Warp Prism away as long as it's on the outskirts of the Terran's part of the map that he controls.
So the fourth base coming up here for Trap. I love the Ghost coming out for ByuN. That's going to be so helpful coming up. You know, just dealing a ton of extra splash damage overall, getting rid of some Immortal Shields, some Archons.
So I do want to say, I feel like, even though I like Trap's position, and that's not to say that ByuN is at some massive disadvantage, I think this is still going to be an uphill fight for Trap.
You think so?
Against ByuN's control, I think it's going to be no small feat.
Yeah, I mean, ByuN is definitely better at micro than basically everyone in the world, so I definitely see what you're saying.
You're going head-to-head against ByuN. He's got 3 operational bases.
Yeah.
And I'd say 1 or 2 bad engages here from Trap. And look, I know he's got a lot of Phoenixes, Archons, and Immortals, but you got to be very careful because ByuN turns the water into wine as far as unit control goes.
He does.
He really does.
And if he hits some good EMPs here, this is going to be brutal. So let's see how he actually controls. Good splitting here by Trap.
Oh my god, if these can hit the Phoenixes!
Oh my god. Actually, a lot of them getting taken out before anything. Some good EMPs do go off, and ByuN starting his famous micro at this point. The medevac's taking tons of damage, though. He's going to lose these.
Yeah, this means every stim that ByuN activates is going to be, I think, later on a bit of a hindrance, especially against Archons, assuming those Archons get in range to do the damage. So, okay, it's 2 medevacs out right now. And it's a small amount of infantry. But again, if you can control infantry perfectly against Archon Immortal Zealot, the infantry are going to be doing way more damage because they can avoid the ranged shots.
Archons definitely, you know, it's hard to hit the army that's kiting very well against these Archons. So definitely something to keep in mind. Blink actually on the way. Not sure how big of a fan I am of that. I would really love to see a little bit more robo play here.
Okay.
You know, the thing is, theoretically, if your economy is good enough at this point, you really want Colossus against this. When people start going Ghost, Colossus become a great ranging tool, and Ghosts just don't really do anything against them.
Well said. Yeah, I actually completely agree, Artosis.
Is his economy big enough for that, though?
I don't know how. I don't know. Not that Blink is bad, but it's not exactly, like, especially with the... I'm sorry, how many Phoenixes are out now? There's still like 6 or 7, right?
Is there? I'm not sure how many there are, actually.
Okay, well, let's pretend that I'm right.
Okay.
I don't think drops are the big issue, right?
No, certainly
Blink
not.
is, a lot of times, I think, best against drops at this phase of the game. So I think you're right. I think maybe a Colossus tech would have been better. Okay, it was 3 Phoenixes. So I was halfway right. It was half the number of Phoenixes I thought.
I think still, he has 100 supply. He has 200 supply. I was halfway right.
Halfway right.
He must have at least 60 SCVs. I'm killing. He has 30, dude.
Ooh, that was beautiful.
Wow, that was sick. Whoa.
Okay, hold up. ByuN winning against the harass back at home, and now the push is coming in.
Oh my god, the Archon's super low on energy right there.
He's forking his army out so that if Terran comes in, Protoss has a really good angle where damage can be dealt from all sides. Although, there's always a chance that ByuN just targets these clumps with more EMPs. It's actually a little bit trickier to fork out like this in StarCraft 2 when you have your whole army on a hotkey a lot of the time. Yeah, if you move it just once, things bunch back up, making EMP pretty deadly. Oh, great force field there. And ByuN not picking up those ghosts. A huge chunk of that army shaved off.
Oh, the Ghost actually cloaking, and they block an Immortal. That's kind of a cool play right there. But Trap's army way too big. ByuN is going to have to run out of here again.
And you know, despite the Phoenix count constantly getting smaller and smaller, we still are seeing mostly the medevacs get killed off. SCVs are being pulled here. I think this may be the beginning of the end.
Wait a minute. Pull these off?
Hold on.
Like,
wait, what's going on? What's happening in this game?
He's mostly Marines now. Can he kill off some of these Immortals? The Immortal's just so valuable. Oh no, that Immortal's so low. So low.
It's funny watching that. You don't normally think of Immortals beating Marines, but when you have 4 Immortals, they're sort of basically good against everything.
Oh, yeah. The Immortal is just such a fantastic.
Look at how much damage just happened to that command center.
It's pretty
5
crazy.
Immortals now.
They just showed 21 medevacs have been killed this game. 21 medevacs.
Wow.
That is a lot of medevacs.
The push may come in a little bit further here. Trap, see now, it's just 3 medevacs in this army. It's all Marines and a Ghost. Literally, there's not a Marauder in this game right now.
Well,
Trap's
against 6
army,
Immortals, I think that making Marauders might not be the
yes, this is very true.
swiftest of moves.
But
Like,
I think overall, the Protoss' army is I think, more complex. Not by a lot, but by a very small amount. And I think that really ByuN is getting boxed in here. ByuN has to have a very good engage. And really, honestly, kudos to Trap. He has been killing it in this series.
yeah, he's playing really, really well right now.
By the way, the 3rd base is almost mined out for Terran. We should take note of that.
Oh, that is really rough. And Trap
Yeah.
is actually taking an additional base, that
Yeah.
5th base up top. So
I don't think Trap even has to attack in here, but he is. This means everything that Terran has is going to have to try to hold on to this moment.
more SCVs coming out to fight with their brothers here. The Marines dealing a ton of damage, but is that actually going to be enough?
Okay, the SCVs have been pulled. 24 already killed off. It is just Marines and a few Marauders now remaining. Stalkers, Archons, Immortals. Phoenix is pushing through, and this is the beginning of the end. Trap is going to upset this 2-0, taking out the 2016 World Champion.
Yeah, that was really well done. Trap, I've just, kudos to Trap. That was a really well played game. Like, he cheesed in game 1 and got lucky with his stuff not getting scouted. So, you know, those wins happen. But this game was, like, really legit. He lost his 3rd base. He stayed calm. He went into Phoenix Zealot, which I'm not sure is the best choice in that situation, where ByuN is, like, the best kiter in the whole world and your 3rd is late. But he kept it together. He was doing some great splitting against the Ghost. That was just really well played.
We're going to a short break. When we come back, Trap versus Dark, to find out who survives first in Group F and goes on to the round of 16 in the GSL Code S.